gun turret malfunctioned. Hurt us bad. Thanks, stranger. I should be back to duty in no time. Thanks, stranger. I should be back to... Thanks, stranger. Thanks, stranger.
Zeron was right about the mercenaries all along. I guess...
Sorry, this door is blocked off. Hey, get away from that door! The last time somebody messed with it, it was locked down for months before we could fix it.
Charanana gundoso remine akelorak. Charanana gundoso remine akelorak tu guru katada. Fioratora pada noring. Terewana jun konata della raguno antunna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ran. Der rinto run to wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsada ranane graer gra dalunota choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno antunna. Dai rinto run Der rinto run to wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsada ranane graer gra dalunota choloren. Terewana jun konata della raguno antunna. Dai rinto run kavre kare papanala ran shinga. Derace wemenoto to rere senesenten. Der rinto run to wakare koe wap gerebu. Nenso telepachan korsada ranane graer gra dalunota choloren.
That was a kind act. It is good to see that one can still show compassion, even after the war. And that is why I follow you, General. Lead on.
I have. It's not just the hardships of the people, but something more. You are right. There is something more at work here. Yes, these dead worlds, they have a pattern to them. They were all touched by the Mandalorian Wars and the Jedi Civil War. Sometimes, I feel as if they are all connected in some other way. The attacks on KOTOR, Telos itself, the decay on Dantooine. Something is wrong with life. The connections have been damaged, sickened. Sometimes I feel like I almost understand, and then it just slips away.
So close.
No, I do not. I do think there is some greater plan at work here. Perhaps. Dantooine is only one of the worlds. It was only the start of the journey. I would like to study the other locations. It is curious that the Jedi Masters chose those worlds to travel to. I wonder if the two are linked. I know not how.
your presence is coming to a close, and you will need to increase your training. You are ready. Your training must increase, and there are higher mysteries you must learn. But only you must know the path you will take. I cannot choose it for you. Is it battle that stirs you? To meet an enemy blade upon blade? Such is the way of the greatest of Jedi warriors, the weapon masters. Or perhaps it is investigating the mysteries of the galaxy, seeking out injustice and harm, and bringing it into the light. Such is the way of the Jedi watchman in the time of Ulic Keldroma and Exar Kun. Or perhaps your way lies upon the ancient mysteries, and to teach others the ways of the Force, as I have, the way of the Jedi Masters. It is not some great test you require to be what you strive to be. It is only your decision to find that path that matters. From here on, you guide your destiny. But in order to take the next steps, you must face your past and put it to rest.
Having you here has an effect on me, General. I never noticed it years ago. I think my mind was too occupied then. I feel calm, more in control. The anger is still there, but I can feel it drifting away. The last years of my life have been defined by it. The Mandalorians, Zerka, and Revan. And above all else, myself, for Malachor. Never, General. It had to be done. My hands destroyed the Mandalorians. I cannot be forgiven for that. Even if I did it out of hatred of the Mandalorians. That might be the truth, but I don't want to see it that way. I can't just ignore the blood on my hands. Even if there isn't, I still feel like I need to do something to make up for it. Under your guidance, I feel like I could overcome my anger. Yes, General? Don't worry, I'm a quick learner. Thank you, General. That might prove useful in the future. Yes, General? Let's get to work then, General. That was a good workout, and a good learning experience. What's going on?
You heard what the administrator said. Each of us has to do what they can to aid in the defense of Kunda. See where you can lend a hand. We'll have time to talk more when...
Do you require an... I have instructed...
I was right about you. The mercenaries aren't quick to mobilize, so you have time to do what you need. Or are you ready to finalize the defense plans? I don't know for certain. It could be a day or even a week. Depends on how good Azkul is at organizing his men. I'm guessing not so good. You sure? Once we're done with that, there may not be any time left before the mercenaries attack. All right, then we got a lot to do.
Since you are here to bolster Kunda's defense, I will hurry to the mercenary camp and delay their assault however I can.
I imagine that the mercenaries have got two goals in this whole thing. Kill me and kill the administrator. The rest of the settlers won't have courage to resist if they succeed. The administrator's locked up in her office tight, which means that the mercs have to go through us and Kunda's defenses. It isn't gonna be easy. I suspect we're gonna have to fight on the inside. They've got 3 entrances they're gonna try and break in. Here's the front door, the security door on the side, and the garage door in back. We got 3 squads of militia. We can assign people to the front, back, or inside. Backside has to guard 2 entrances. The front will have to fight more people, and the inside will have to deal with any that break through. So, where do you think the first squad should be deployed? The battles that had the least dying were always led by Jedi. I'm gonna go with what you think. Where do you want the second squad? Alright, where do you want the third squad, the new recruits? Fine by me. The last question is, where do you want to go? Either the front or the back. I'll take whichever one you don't. That way both sides have leadership. The back. I suppose that there is more ground to cover with the 2 entrances. And so, thanks to you, that's about it. Afraid not. We don't have much time. We got reports that Well, I'll tell them what's there to do. I'm not much for words. All right, I'll assemble the men. I hope you can speak good. I don't have the words. That was really something. I think any one of them would take a blaster bolt for you now. Let's get ready for the mercenaries. If we fall here, all of Dantooine falls with us.
Tell me what you see, soldier.
They're mobilizing the militia. Looks like a lot of activity down there.
They've been warned. It won't be of any use. The plan doesn't change. Captains, prepare your men. Their leader, Administrator Tarina, must not survive the battle. Everything else is secondary to that objective.
We've lost too many soldiers. Fall back inside.
So you're the Jedi. I take it you are responsible for the surprises we've had during this battle. Stand aside. Our quarrel is with a distinguished administrator. This isn't your problem. Is that supposed to convince me, Jedi? I was trained by the Sith. My unit killed many Jedi. I'll give you one last chance. Leave the administrator to her fate. She's inconvenient and doesn't know the chain of command. She will pay for that. Then you've allied with these flaming settlers. The galaxy doesn't tolerate weakness. I was trained at Malak's Academy. Your tricks won't work on me. You're just another dead Jedi to me.
I didn't sign on for this cold-blooded slaughter, Ascol.
I was wondering when you would betray me, Dopak. I'll send your final wages to your children, along with a detonator.
Sorry I was held up, but it looks like I've arrived in time to pull you out of your predicament.
Kill them all.
Thank you so much for your aid. You can be sure that Dantooine will not forget how the Jedi protected us. I'm sorry to offend you. You are, of course, our savior, and I am very grateful to you. We are a humble community, and this conflict has greatly diminished our resources. I hope this reward will be sufficient. I am humbled by your generosity. I will put this to good use. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have much work to do. Dantooine will be slow to rebuild, but I am confident now that we will one day achieve prosperity.
Kunda is safe in no small part due to you. I feel certain that the administrator wouldn't have made it without your assistance. I may have misjudged you. In any case, I am free to talk about whatever you wish. There are a few of us left, but I do not even know if the others still live. We may be the last. We've been forced to divide our forces and retreat to places which will be difficult for our enemies to detect and attack. We have chosen to hide our presences from each other, so that the discovery of one will not endanger the others. We cannot. We have resolved not to until we have found where the Sith are striking from. But even as our numbers thin, there is still no trace of them. We had hoped to outmaneuver them. By letting them believe themselves victorious, we thought they would become bold and step from the shadows. Then, all of us who remained vowed to meet here on Dantooine. From here, we can plan a course of action and carry the battle to them. But so far they remain in hiding, and Jedi continue to vanish and die. You have more questions for me? We were not in hiding, despite what you believe. This threat is striking through the Force. There's a reason that we cannot detect it. It is somehow masking its presence from us. I do not know. There are techniques in the Force that hide one's presence and thoughts from other Force users. But I do not believe that such techniques alone would be capable of hiding the enemies we face. It does not seem possible. Jedi sanctuaries, places of learning, conclaves, many of them secret, have been attacked. That requires that our enemy knew of our whereabouts, or had access to records and holocrons from the Enclave here on Dantooine. There was much Jedi teaching buried here before the planet was attacked. In the hands of our enemies, such knowledge could be used to track and kill Jedi, find other enclaves, gathering places. And so much has been plundered from here that now many secrets of the Jedi have been spread throughout the galaxy. So I did what I could, attempting to let myself be captured. I hoped that it would lead me to the Sith and the stolen artifacts. The Sith attacked this place once, and only they would seek the death of the Jedi with such obsession, and be able to be as successful as they have. With the destruction of Dantooine, it is difficult to sense the presence of any Force users here. If any Sith are here, I cannot detect them. Yes, perhaps I wish to see this place one more time. It has changed much, as I knew it had, but I had to see it for myself. You have more questions for me? Because you defied the Council and followed Revan to war. And from that war came another. Do you know how many worlds were destroyed in those wars? Dantooine, Telos, Sirocco? Do you see now why we counseled caution instead of action? You are the only one to come back and face judgment. But that was because you had lost your connection to the Force. Another casualty of war. No doubt you still blame us for your exile. I had hoped your isolation would give you time to reflect on what had happened, what you had done. But I see it as not. You have more questions for me? We did nothing to you. Accuse us if you will, but it will not change the truth. Cutting one off from the Force. Such punishments are reserved for only a few. Although it was within our power, we did not inflict such a loss upon you. Your loss was a casualty of war, no more. Perhaps that is a question you should ask yourself. It is not something I could help you with, even if I wanted to. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt in the Council Judgment Chamber on Coruscant so long ago. Still, you and your connections were often a subject of debate in the Council. It is possible that returning to known space, journeying with others, has caused the Force to stir within you again. You have more questions for me? Force bonds? Yes. It is the bond that grows between master and student. Are you saying you have bonded with another? Such bonds normally grant strength to both, but not to such a degree. Are you certain? Perhaps it is merely what you believe. Still, your ability to form such connections, to influence others, was always a subject of discussion, even when you were a student here. Perhaps it is a punishment of a sort. But a bond that ties two lives together, such bonds do not seem natural to me. And with your loss of connection to the Force, it seems such a connection would be impossible. Perhaps it is Dantooine, but I do not feel such from you. I feel nothing but what I felt. Still, you and your... It is possible that you have more... Have they? I've seen no evidence of them upon Dantooine. Only murderers and raiders. Why would they attack you? There were no Jedi. You cannot feel the Force. For some reason, I believe you. Still, I am curious as to how they would know to find you. Your trial was not public knowledge. Regardless, these Sith have struck, and you survived. This is more knowledge than I had before. And that means the Jedi may gather. If you can find others, or find some trace of the Sith threat, then we shall gather here on Dantooine. And from there we may decide what can be done. You have more questions for me? I suppose there is something I should show you. It will keep you alive long enough to prove useful. When you are facing a long campaign, you need to be more conservative with how you use your Force energy. This form gives you increased Force affinity. In simple terms, it helps you to quickly regenerate Force energy in the middle of a fight. I don't know how you learned that so quickly. Still, your form is sloppy. Keep practicing to tighten it up and you'll be fine.
What's going on?